Good afternoon, and welcome to Straight Talking with Kelly, where real conversations happen. How many of you out there are very creative, or you know somebody that's very creative? I know myself, I'm very multi talented. I do a lot of different things, and I'm so blessed and grateful that I have that ability. And today, joining me is someone that is very much like me, but I think he took me to a whole nother level. And I can't wait for you to get a chance to meet and hear a little bit more about him. So join me in welcoming Eduardo Aguire. But I'll be calling him Eddie throughout the whole interview. So welcome, Eddie.
Hi, thank you, Kelly. How are you?
I'm good. I cannot wait to get into our conversation talking about real estate and style. Now,
That's
that's a
right.
combination that I was like, hey, I can do this. And because it was you, I wasn't surprised. It made sense. So before we get started, let me read a little bit about your bio, okay? So people can have a sense of who you are. So, this San Francisco realtor and creative director is the go to guru for all things real estate and style. He has a flair for digital marketing, fashion, and interior design. He's not just about homes, though. He's a pro in nonprofit startups, brand development, always adding that positive spark to his community. And so, as we get into the interview, you're going to really, really be amazed at some of the things this young man has been able to accomplish. But before we even do that, I would actually like to walk down memory lane because Eddie is a former fashion student of mine from City College of San Francisco. And I had to ask him before we started the interview, like, what year were you in my program? And he said 2015. So now tell me, how did my image consulting class influence some of the work that you're doing today? Can you tell me a little bit about that?
Yes, absolutely. I remember specifically learning about the different colors, the seasons, and how it really changes one's perception on how you perceive yourself, how others perceive yourself.
Yeah.
Of course, color sets the mood and it can express personality. It can make bold statements. And in interiors, it creates an ambiance.
Yes.
For example, calming tones for relaxation and bright colors for energy.
Yeah.
And it's aligning the colors and the feelings together.
And we're going to talk a little bit more about that when we get into or talk about interior design, because I start thinking, oh my God, I know he added some of that fashion personality stuff that he learned in class to this because, is this person a classic? Is it romantic? All of that plays a role, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay. But let us know a little bit about you, where you were born, where you were raised, where you went to school, and then we'll get more in depth into our conversation. So talk to me.
Yeah, so I was born in Ventura County. That a lot of people don't know where that is. It's in between Santa Barbara and LA. I then studied at the city college there. I did 2 years at San Diego City College, where then I transferred to San Francisco State University. I studied visual communications with the school in consumer behavior. And then shortly after, I started taking classes at San Francisco City College uh, because I love learning. I love being curious and seeing what other things I can bring into my little repertoire of tools that I keep. Uh,
I love it. So now tell me this, Eddie. You're multi talented and creative. Now, I like how you have blended all of your skills from fashion and interior design into real estate. Talk to me about that approach. What made you make that click?
Yeah. So sometimes people think that they're completely separate industries, but in reality, they're pretty similar. It's about aligning one's perception into how first it looks online. If something doesn't look great online, then you're most likely not going to get them to come into your open houses. So it's about creating a broad audience and seeing how trends and timeless uh, style plays into uh, one role. Here in San Francisco, we have a lot of vintage Victorians. I absolutely love that about my job. I
That's
love seeing the different views, the different perspectives, and seeing how things were done 100 years ago and how it's now transformed.
yeah.
Um, for example, I live in a building that is over 100 years old, and sometimes we find creepy crawly spiders in there that is like, whoa, yeah, there was gas line, or wow, this used to be a single family home and now it's a multi-unit building.
Wow. Amazing. That's awesome. And you're paying attention too, and you do have to pay attention. Now, how do you balance your creative ideas with the practical needs and experience of your clients? Because you're so creative, because I know just for me, sometimes when people are asking me to do a makeover on them or whatever, I have in my mind what I would do, but I don't do that. I was like, what do they want? So I'm sure you have to have that same, you have to hold back some of that creative energy, and really find out what the client needs. Am I correct?
Yes. I'd say listening is key. I start by understanding the client's visions and their needs, and then I integrate creativity to elevate that vision without sacrificing practicality. It's about meeting expectations with a unique twist.
Absolutely. I like that with the unique twist. Yeah, because then you do get to put some of your flavor in it. And the client is actually waiting for some of that too. They want it.
Yes, yes. And sometimes we don't want to give a little bit too much of our flavor and push on them
Yes.
because they have a different style.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
about aligning their needs and creating a vision that's going to be unique for them.
But I also think what we had said earlier, the key things that I think a lot of people skills they don't have that you have in terms of knowing about color and balance, knowing about personality types, all of that stuff really plays a role in terms of sizing someone up, saying, okay, this is a classic person. So this is what I need to do. I can't be out there with all this bold stuff because that's not who so having that knowledge, I'm sure puts you ahead of other people in the industry. Do you find that?
Yeah, so with color specifically, I think of tint, tone, and shade. Tint, how much white does a color have? Tone, how much black and white, and shade, how much black. And
Mm-hmm.
with those three elements, we're able to create different hues and seeing how it's going to be perceived and how one's behavior changes.
Yeah,
Uh,
absolutely. That's awesome. Now tell me, so real estate and fashion, they're two separate things. So we're going to break this down. I want you to tell me what were some of the obstacles you had to overcome when you decided to become a realtor. What was that experience like? What are some of the obstacles that people may find?
yeah. I'd say adaptability is very important. Every client, every project, and industry is different, and being flexible allows me to grow and continuing delivering high quality work, while of course staying true to my values.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I believe that sustainability is huge in all industries. That is truly a core value for me.
Okay. Okay. So now, like, how is the real estate market right now? Is it up? Is it down? And just when you first started, what was it like? Was it really tough? Was it easy? What was that like?
Yeah, so I've now
How long have you been doing it too, by the way?
since 2015.
Okay.
So 9 years. I've
Okay.
already renewed my license 3 times. I have to do that every 4 years.
Okay. Wow.
And back then in 2015, San Francisco was in a rush. People were just trying to put a roof over their heads. There were many multiple offers and it was a different monster.
Okay.
Now people have the opportunity to actually pay attention to what it is that they want and um and see the very little inventory that there is. Of course, it's a supply and demand. We have little inventory, but demand is also slow. So it's pretty much staying steady. I'd say the market is steady, and throughout the country, each place has its own market. In San Francisco, we have 10 districts, and each neighborhood is completely different. They're microclimates just like our weather.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And micro prices in different areas as well.
Yes.
It's like, let's not
A
leave
single
that out.
family home will be very different in north than it is South San Francisco.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So, and is right now, is the market okay, or is it up or down, slow?
I'd say it's okay based on the supply and demand.
Okay,
It's definitely on the slower side than it was, let's say, when I started, or even during the pandemic. We were very busy.
okay, okay. Oh, during the pandemic even?
Yeah, a
Wow.
lot of people leaving,
Ah,
but
okay.
also a lot of people coming in to find new opportunities.
Okay,
Plus,
okay,
our job market has a lot to do with it.
okay,
A lot
okay.
of tech industry is leaving, and downtown is very slow.
Yeah,
Um,
I think they're trying to revitalize it, and people don't want to go back to work in the offices because they've gotten accustomed being home, working from home. So I don't know how long that's going to last, or
mhm.
what they'll do with those buildings.
Yeah, it's a huge mystery right now. Of course, we're in an election year, so let's see how things go.
Yeah,
That'll definitely turn things around,
up or
hopefully
down,
positive.
depending depending on the
I,
outcome.
depending on the outcome.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So now I noticed you received a lot of press over the years for your nonprofit that's called Designing a Difference, that is providing opportunities through your workforce program. So, and I remember when you were in my class in 2015. So, not only were you studying there, you were getting your real estate license and you were starting the nonprofit. And I remember how I really wanted to partner with your nonprofit. So, tell me a little bit more about your nonprofit so people could know. And you know what I find fascinating, and make sure you include your manufacturing part of it as well. How do you say that? Dadi sewing?
Dad's Sewing House or Designing a Difference.
Oh, okay. When I saw that, I was like, now, how is he pronouncing this? Okay.
The
Okay. Talk to me about that.
acronym. Yeah. So my best friend Rebecca Kahua and I started up hashtag LunchBagSF. We did that in 2013, and we would go to on Sunday mornings. We'd be at nightclubs, of course, when they closed.
Why
But
not?
but we were able to create a really fun ambiance with music and lights. And through social media, we'd invite people to come join us for our events where we'd create an assembly line, and each person would be in their own dedicated space to create lunches. And we'd create lunches, have a nice note to make people smile. And we'd go pass them out throughout San Francisco and the Bay Area. And we wanted to provide a nice day for them,
Okay.
because there's people going through so many things. Of course, there's so many people in the streets of San Francisco, and we wanted to create a good moment for them.
Nice.
The
Very
fun
nice.
moment that we could. And then later we thought, what else could we do? How could we not only impact them on a Sunday morning, how could we create longevity?
Mhm.
So that's where Designing a Difference came about. What we do is we train people with employment barriers, how to sew and work in the apparel manufacturing industry.
Yes.
Yes. And once they graduate, we give them a job at our manufacturer. We do brand development, uh, sample making, cut and sew, embroidery. We have a dye lab, screen printing. We just have lots of fun.
Everything.
Yeah.
And
And
then you also have You guys are probably one of the only ones here in San Francisco that's kind of full-fledged like that. Is that correct? Or is San Francisco made? Are you very much like them?
Yeah, so pretty much what we do, what we specialize in is brand development, usually at a cut and sew, which there are a few in San Francisco still. Um, they are leaving. People are definitely retiring,
Okay.
but that has given us the opportunity to buy their machines and still continue to employ some of those uh, sewers. Um,
Wow.
are we connected?
Wow.
I lost you.
I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, are we stuck?
Yeah, we're
Yes, yes, yes. Sorry.
no, that's okay. So now tell me this. You have
No, I
branded
can't.
yourself quite well. What was your approach to that? And and you're also helping other people do that as well. Talk to me a little bit about that.
Sorry, I didn't hear that one.
Oh, okay. I said you've branded yourself quite well. And I know you do that for clients and others, so I want you to talk to me a little bit about your approach to branding.
Yeah, so pretty much it's about creating a image for yourself, just the way we were talking about in image consulting. But really consistency and authenticity is key. Whether it's for a brand, for personal identity. I focus on telling a compelling story that aligns with core values and ensuring touch points that create the same vision.
Okay. Okay. So now sustainability is a very hot topic today. We know that, which it should be. What role does it play in your design choices and how do you implement it into your work?
Yeah. So, of course, being born a millennial, it was all about consumerism, shopping left, right, how many outfits can we turn out? And once I went to school specializing in fashion, I learned that wow, um, fashion is the number two industry that ends up in landfill.
Yeah,
Um, first being the oil. And I thought that is so sad. I don't like how things are made overseas and people's rights are not taken into consideration.
absolutely.
Yeah, so
Absolutely.
I pretty much focus on sourcing eco-friendly materials and promoting ethical brands in both fashion and interior. It's about making thoughtful choices that benefit the client and the environment.
Yeah,
At the end of the day, each dollar that you spend is a vote towards what you believe in.
yeah,
If you believe in shopping at Fashion Nova and you know in the back of your mind that, hey, they don't treat workers' rights or they're okay with child labor, then that's you saying, yes, I'm okay with that.
yeah, yeah. And it's not just in fashion, it's also in the food industry, all of that. We have to really, really start taking our own accountability, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Funny that you say the food industry. Just recently, I learned how there are monkeys uh, out looking for acai in trees. They have them on leash going up, and I, I'm just like, what? That is there has to be some type of labor rights for them as well.
so they got the monkeys getting stuff for them.
Yes, it is mind blowing. I can't believe it.
Oh, child, people will do whatever it takes, right? It's
Yeah.
craziness. All right, Eddie, let's switch gears because that just blew me away. Okay. So I'd like for you to tell me three people that have inspired you.
Wow. That is a fabulous question. Um, I definitely have to add, growing up, I had tutors, and they are the ones that shaped me to who I am today.
Okay.
Um, yeah, definitely them. I'd say instructors just like you, where I was able to learn about different industries and make it my own personal um my own personal endeavors.
Yes, yes,
I think
indeed.
it's very important to have fun in life. If
Mhm.
you're not having fun, then you're probably doing it wrong. Um, and third, let's see. Hmm. I Sometimes I'm asked like, "Oh, who's your favorite designer?" And I don't really have an answer. Because there's a little bit of style that you take from everybody. There you learn a little bit from everybody. So it's really hard to say three specifically. Um, but I do really enjoy that each designer gets to have their own identity, and you get to take a little bit from each, and you put it into your perspective, and you align your values and style, and you adapt from there.
Absolutely. So it was your mentors that helped you, your instructors and designers that's this big melting pot of helping you get to be who you are.
Yeah.
So now here's another one. What would the 9-year-old Eddie say to the grown man Eddie today? What would he say about you? What would he say to you?
Wow. I do really believe that I would be very proud for the simple reason that I have been able to elevate my life to where I am today. Um, my both my parents came as immigrants, and I am the first to graduate college.
Oh, nice.
When I was younger, I had difficulty learning. I have ADHD, dyslexia, a speech impediment. So it pretty much adds up. And I never believed that I was going to go to college.
Hmm.
Um, so those mentors and teachers and trendsetters really have shaped me up to be today. And I think the 9-year-old me would be so excited because I've always been doing creative things. I was one to stay home. I didn't play outside. I was very much learning how to use my own sewing machine. I actually got my first sewing machine at 7 years old, uh,
Wow.
which is still my main sewing machine. It's still
Oh, how sweet is that?
yeah. Back then I was FBE, Fashions by Eddie. Um,
I love it.
making little dog clothes and fashion jewelry. Uh,
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
yeah.
beautiful. Wow. So the 9-year-old Eddie is quite proud of the grown man Eddie. I love it. That is awesome. So, Eddie, thanks so much for joining me on Straight Talking with Kelly. So, now I'd like for you to leave some closing words to those who are listening and how you can inspire or motivate them. What would you do? What will you say? What you got to say to them?
Hmm, 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 hmm. Let's see. There is there is so much going on in today's world that really we need to focus on our true values and align ourselves to who it is or where we see uh our family grow. I don't say family in the sense of your relatives, because sometimes they don't really turn out to be the people you wish they were.
Mhm.
Uh, but it's more so about the people that you create your own family with, your friends, and those who, at the end of the day, you end up spending more than uh, your household family.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think that's really good advice because you're right. You can definitely create your own environment, and you want to be around people that encourage you, people that lift you up,
Right.
and people that you can inspire. And it's a give and take kind of thing. It's not a ticket, one way ticket to ride.
That's right.
But
No, we need to put our heart on our sleeves and ride with that.
Oh, absolutely. Now I'm looking at this background of yours. I've been wanting to say something about it all along before we go out. So talk to me about it because I see some stuff going on that I'd like to know what it is.
That's so funny. This was actually a screen that I have here with
Mhm.
lots of little fun things that I've collected. Um, from Buddhist, I've studied different religions. I'm not religious, but I do believe in self-awareness and being a good neighbor.
Yeah.
Um, yeah. But,
Yeah.
but yeah, just lots of little trinkets I love.
And the beautiful plants. The plants are very healthy looking.
Oh, thank you, thank you. I do have a green thumb and many plants around the house.
I know I
Uh,
love plants. That's what I'm saying. I'm so nosy. I'm just like, what is that? I wonder what that is.
yeah, yeah. Things from my grandma who I never met,
Oh,
from things from co my Costa Rica trip. I actually studied abroad there.
okay.
Yeah, in
So you
Ghirardelli. Love San Francisco. San
okay.
Francisco's home. I'm not going anywhere.
And you've done some serious overcoming. And thank you for sharing that because I'm sure there are other people out there that could have those same disabilities that you had. And, they don't want to talk about it. But when they get to hear someone else talk about it, it helps them to go forward. You know what I mean? So thank you for sharing that. I appreciate that.
As I've gotten older, I've realized that there's so many different type of people out there, and really just aligning yourself to those that like you.
Yeah,
If somebody has an issue with you, well, too bad. There's so many others that will as
absolutely.
well.
Right.
So let's stick to those core values and love one another.
What
That's
the
very important.
world needs now is love, sweet love. Yes, indeed. Well, Eddie, thanks again for joining me on Straight Talking with Kelly. I love those hearts. How did you make that happen?
Oh no.
Do it again. All
Uh,
right now.
Technology is amazing when it works.
Okay, well, it looked like magic to me. Anyways, thank you again for joining me. And to the audience, thank you for coming back. Please hit that subscribe button, share, and I'll see you soon.